Hey, it's me. I just thought I'd do a quick video about a recent movie release that I went and saw in the theaters last week, and that is David Cronenberg's Crimes of the Future. So I'm almost a week removed from this movie, and I don't have the most reliable memory, so I'm not really gonna get into I also don't want to spoil it, so I'm not gonna get into the plot or anything too much, but I thought I'd just do sort of a quick overview and talk about my feelings about this film. It does sort of feel like this year we've had like an amazing return to cinema. There have been so many great and fun theater releases. I've seen X, which I should have done a quick video about that one because I love Ty West and I love that movie. It was, in my opinion, super fun, just simple and fun, and a great slasher. And I know I've heard people talk about it being slow, but you know, this is Ty West, and I feel like he loves a slow pace, a slow burn. He loves to just have a lot of lead up, and then the last half hour, you know, go batshit crazy. And to be honest, I am not hating it. I'm always happy to see a film by Ty West coming out. I'm always happy to see horror in the theater, and I loved it. So this past weekend, I couldn't pass up going to see a new Cronenberg film in the theater. I am Canadian, so you know, you gotta check out Cronenberg. You gotta support your boy, local boy. Let me say this off the bat though. I was sort of disappointed by this film. I liked it, but I did not love it. I think maybe it was overhyped as, you know, Cronenberg's return to body horror, and it was that. And it was weird, and it had a lot of things that I really liked about it. I thought the acting was really good. It looked good. I think maybe the pacing was a bit slow, which normally I don't mind, but it felt like it went on a little bit too long. Honestly, I can't quite put my finger on what I didn't like about it. It didn't push the limits any further than any of his other films. In fact, it felt like holding back a little bit. And I did go some weird places. It just throws you right into things. Nothing is explained off the bat, and I really enjoyed that part of it. Like I said, the performances were really good. Kristen Stewart, who I was kind of concerned about in terms of like whether or not I was gonna like her. Her performance was weird, but really great. Viggo Mortensen was great. You know, across the board, everything about it was good. Everything looked great. The people were beautiful. I feel like it just didn't go quite far enough, or wasn't quite gross enough. Didn't make me feel really uncomfortable, and I think that's what I was looking for. And I remember after watching, even though this is Brandon Cronenberg and not David Cronenberg, after watching Possessor, I remember that film really stuck with me for days, and this one not so much. I think the other issue for me was none of it takes place in Toronto. Not all of his films take place in Toronto, but it just always is nice to see the city that I lived in for so long, and it's fun to see it through a director's eyes, and to see it as Toronto, not just as like a generic city that, you know, they're just using because it's a cheap place to film. It's not about the scenery. It's not in that way like the most beautiful film. So I don't think it even matters that it's not in Toronto, but to me it felt like I kind of missed that part of it. There was one scene that made me feel uncomfortable, and there is a lot of like body stuff, cutting into bodies, removing organs and growths and things like that. There's a scene where they're performing an autopsy. So, I mean, I won't get into it that much as to not spoil it, but I think this isn't spoiler. It takes place in like a future world, and maybe that's the other thing is it doesn't really feel, I feel like most Cronenberg films, that the thing that I like about them is that they do feel really grounded in this world, but still a weird version of reality. This film didn't have that vibe. It felt like another planet, another time. So it's sort of post-apocalyptic future setting, and people are doing this performance art, and it all involves sort of like body mutilation and surgeries being performed live in front of an audience. And it didn't ever make me feel super uncomfortable in the way that I kind of was hoping for. And so I think that's part of the problem too. But anyways, have you seen or are you planning on seeing this movie? Are you looking forward to it? I would still say it's worth checking out. I guess that's it for me for this week. Bye for now.